Time to see what the wizards are up to.
Hello.
Hey everyone, how are you? Thanks for joining us. We are going to keep it short this week because
famous last words.
Famous last words. Because it's a holiday week. I know everyone's trying to get their work done before they get out of the office, or maybe some of you are already off, and I'm just jealous. I know I'm going to be doing some last minute stuff this evening for holiday stuff. I'm going to try to leave work early if my boss will let me. I don't know. So today we are we'll talk a little bit about our giveaways that we're doing now. And then we have quite a few spoilers. Rob's going to share some high alert spoilers. He's going to give some updates on Sorcerer Endbringer and Kapai the Kapow Solo. So we have some really cool stuff. And post your questions whenever you like, and we'll get to them either while we're talking or at the end. And we can jump right in here. Let's see. So last week, if you weren't here, we announced that we are going to be doing giveaways. On each stream, we'll announce what the giveaway is. Katie will post a link in the chat, and you can go there. We'll post it around on social media as well and enter. And last week, I'm just looking at this. Okay, I'm on the one from last week. So last week we ran this giveaway where we were giving away a copy of Frontiers and this awesome Mech Cruiser playmat. So I want to announce that we selected a winner, and it is Stevo Rito. I like that name. It has a ring to it. So congratulations, Stevo, on winning this. So we'll get this out to you. While we are now back up and running on sending stuff out, because it's like a holiday week, it'll probably take a couple weeks for this to get out. But if we don't have your information, Katie will be reaching out to you to get your information, and we'll get that out to you. So congratulations. And this week, we are going to be giving away a copy of Hero Realms and the 5 character packs. So, if you haven't played Hero Realms, it's super fun. And I personally love to play with the character packs. I really prefer to play with the character packs. I personally really like to play the wizard. I don't know why I like wizards, but maybe that shouldn't be a surprise.
The wizard has the cat from there.
Yeah, I like the cat. It comes with a cat. It has Fireball. What's your favorite character, Rob?
I'm partial to the ranger. I really like the ranger art. Yeah, and I really like the track ability, the ability to sort of manipulate my deck a little bit. It's really fun.
Oh, I wanted to. Do I have it? I wanted to actually show off. So Hero Realms is out of stock, or soon to be out of stock. It's out of stock in our warehouses right now. The base game. We actually reprinted it earlier this year, like after the beginning of the year, and it completely sold out, which is awesome. But we're reprinting it, so that's one of the reasons I wanted to give it away, because it's going to be getting harder to get. But also, I just wanted to mention, in our reprint, we've redesigned the cover art, and we actually changed this particular piece of art. It's kind of hard to see with the glare from my light. Not doing very good here. So this art is actually based on the likeness of Mandy Hutchinson, who is awesome. She has been so awesome in the community. Yeah, she's also a card in the game. She happened to be a card in the game, and then, it turned out, that the art for that character is actually on the cover of the box. So I did not know, and she did not know when we decided this was the character that she was going to be. This doesn't change the Hero Realms base game. It's basically an alt art with Mandy on it. And then we also changed the art in this particular card, which features Jeremy Howard. So Mandy and Jeremy are both reviewers in the industry. Jeremy is part of Man vs. Meeple, and he started out with Jambalaya to play his games. He does a lot of solo. He does a lot of playing games with his son, which I love to watch. And he's actually a llama in real life, I've heard. So he posts a lot of llama pictures. And Mandy she has To Die For Games, which is her own channel. She does the Aptastic digital channel, which is awesome. Her and Sue Sheldon, they review digital apps, which is really relevant right now, because a lot of people are playing digital apps. And they played Kapow on Tabletop Simulator, and they were so fun. They were just super fun people to hang out with. We like to hang out with them, in I'll call it the old days when we used to go to conventions. in the old days. And so we're excited about that. It's always nice to freshen up the box.
And the game mechanics are obviously completely unchanged. We just have new art on a couple of cards, and the art really came out great. I'm really excited about how they look.
Yeah, we're excited about it. So just again, hitting up on this giveaway. If you're interested in entering, click on the link and you can enter. We're actually going to run this giveaway until the next stream. So I put in the post for this stream that next week we're not going to stream. We're trying to be super consistent, and I think we've been pretty good about doing every Tuesday, but next week I want to take a break and spend some time with our family.
Yeah, the kids will be off from school.
Schools are closed.
Off from school. They'll be home, but not.
I mean, they're always here, but so we're not going to stream next Tuesday. So just so that everyone knows, so we'll be back on Tuesday, January 5th, and then we'll announce the winner for this giveaway, and we'll announce a new giveaway. And if you have ideas of things that you would like to see us give away, specific promo cards or, expansions that you're really wanting, let us know, because we're open to suggestions. I have a sort of a plan, but our plans are open to change. So I'm going to hand off to you, Rob.
Excellent. Yeah, so we're going to start out with a couple Star Realms card spoilers. We have this is from the requisition pack, High Alert requisition. The mechanic this card has basically makes it cheaper for every blob card you've got. So the more blob cards you have in play, cheaper this thing is to get. This one is fantastic base, basically drawing you a card. So it just sits out there, getting you a card every turn, phenomenally powerful. And then it's got that ally ability to kick into combat. So this is obviously totally worth buying for any faction, just because just having a base out there that's going to draw you a card every turn, just always great to add to your deck. But if you're invested in blob, one, cheaper to purchase if you can if you get those blob cards out, and two, that ally for combat is a really big deal. So that's a Swarm Colony from Requisition, and then we also have a ship from the Requisition set. This is Tanker Mech, huge 4-trade bonus here. And obviously gets cheaper with more machine cult cards. It's got ally scrap potential. And this card is going to always be attractive to get in your deck, because in the early game, it's giving you lots of trade. And later in the game, it's got the scrap to draw card ability. So always a great addition to your deck. So Tanker Mech machine cult ship from the High Alert requisition set.
Awesome. Would you consider giving out a Ferrari in our weekly giveaway?
Matchbox car Ferrari? I would like to become a big enough company to give away an actual Ferrari. That would be, that'd be pretty sweet.
That would be nice.
The Star Realms stuff is printing now, for High Alert, and also all the stuff for the Epic Jungle Kickstarter. So we'll be shipping out of the factory next month, knock on wood. Really great cards for that. We also want to talk a little bit about Kapow. I think it was the first stretch goal we unlocked for Kapow was the solo play. This is something we're really excited about. And we're continuing to design the solo play versions for all the characters. So every character in the game is going to have a solo play version. So I am going to share with you some early designs. So these aren't tested yet. This is sort of my vision.
I'm sure people will be analyzing them tonight.
Oh yeah. So these are my first pass, basically visions on how these guys will work. And then we'll be doing testing and tweaking slight modifications on these. So we showed you 235s solo board previously, and you'll notice some things are the same and some things will change from board to board. So for all the boards, we're going to have the triple and double matching dice abilities. This is kind of the equivalent of the solo board's player board, where they're standard abilities that every hero and villain have. However, the order of the abilities change on them. So basically, which dice are preferred for those matchups, and exactly what they do. There's a lot of similarities between them, but there's the same. But there's obviously new stuff. So we've got spoiler alerts, cravings ability, and the vitamin D with the ability to lock in power. So he'll still be doing his lock in versus you. So this one has a different works differently from has sort of different things it's trying to do than the 235. And we also have a board here for Tough Nut. And he also has different sets of abilities up here on the top, and we've got the roll cage effect going, where he can get attack and defense simultaneously, he's designed to be quite the brawler. So yeah, we're going to be continuing to make these boards. We've got a lot of testing to do on them, but and these boards are not yet balanced, so it's likely they're either a little too weak or a little too strong. These are first passes. Just sort of wanted to show you the process, the creative process for them. So basically had wanted to get mechanics in that match what they do in the PvP versions, capture those for the solo play, with the goal of making each of these heroes and villains that you can play against kind of a unique challenge. And of course, when you play different heroes and villains against them, you get lots and lots of different matchup possibilities.
Between this and Endbringer, I'm just never going to see Rob now. Well, everyone else is taking a holiday break. I'll be play testing all the solos.
Yeah. So it's one of the great things about having solo designs is we can do tons of testing during lockdown, no problem.
All right. So do you want to?
Sure. Were there any questions we should before?
There was someone wanted to know if a beer was being opened in the background. It's not quite Miller time.
It's Coke Zero time still. Yeah.
Point, but that's not a terrible idea. There'll be some wine happening this week for sure. And then there was, also a suggestion that we have solo for all of our expansions. I mean, I'm not sure if we'll do it for every single expansion we do for a game, but I really like it to have it as an option. Okay. If we have the original version 1 of Kapow, I don't know if we've thought about solo up.
Yeah. So basically, so yes, we will have upgrade for the solo play. So we're still working on the logistics of how those work. The current planning is these will be stickers that you put over your board. So in this case, it would be like board size, and it would cover the entire back of your old board with the solo play. But yes, if you're getting the upgrade kit, you will have the solo play boards for those original characters from your original Kapow set.
And then there was a question. We've gotten this question a couple of times about the hero realms when we were talking about hero realms and which characters we liked. The question is, I think it's a good one. How do you play PvP with the characters? Basically, if you want to, well, I guess maybe we can talk about how you play with characters, and then I think this is more getting at how do you play with characters if you want to level up and use additional skills and stuff. So if you can talk to that, and maybe we could, when we're on break, we actually usually get to play some games.
Yeah, that would be a good subject for a video. So the character packs are really easy to use with Hero Realms. You just replace the original starting deck with the character starting deck, and you'll have a couple of special abilities, a skill card and an ability card that stay in play. one that you can activate by spending gold once a turn, and another which you can sacrifice once per game to get a really powerful effect. And you also have different starting health totals. And between the unique starting deck, the different special ability cards, and those different starting health scores, they all play very differently, and they're a lot of fun to match up against each other. In the campaign, that allows you to play cooperatively with your friends instead of PvP. And also in the campaign set, we've created skill trees for the Hero Realms characters. So basically those sacrifice, that ability that you can pay gold for, and the one that you can sacrifice to activate for a powerful effect once per game, you can actually use experience to upgrade those cards. So what you get an experience point in the game, and you can spend it to either increase your health, or you can use it to increase your activated ability or your sacrifice ability. And you can so you get to customize your character, and the skills basically diverge. So you have, when you spend an upgrade, you can either get upgrade A or upgrade B. And then if later on, if you chose upgrade A, you'd be able to get a next upgrade. So there's like the level, the level 3 up version would have an A, B, and C option. And the A and B option, the A option you can only get if you did upgrade A. The B option you can get from either upgrade A or upgrade B on the second level, and then the C option you could only get if you got the level 2 upgrade B. So basically, there's a tree of effects that you can get to. So there's really cool. You also have magic items you find during the game. If you want to play PvP, you can simply, when you want to get together and play with somebody, you can say, hey, let's play. Let's do certain number of experience points and a certain number of magic items, and you can you could either choose your magic items or decide that you're going to get them randomly, kind of like gambits in Star Realms. And then with the experience points, you can decide how to spend them. So you're like, oh, I've got 4 experience points. First one I'll spend on this, second one I'll spend on that, and you can work your way up the skill charts. Now, all those skill and ability cards have a PvP version on the back. So they have one side, which is the campaign play version, so for teaming up with your friends and playing together against the bad guys. And on the back of it, there is a PvP version for playing against people. And sometimes they're exactly the same, and other times they're different, depending, on whether the mechanics work with PvP or not. So really easy to do and fun, because you can the characters really get some pretty cool abilities as they level up. So there's a ton of potential cool PvP stuff there. You can also use it as a handicapper, like if you're losing all the time,
if
Debbie's
I'm playing Rob.
If I get beaten down by Debbie like 10 times in a row, I can be like, hey, how about I get a couple experience points to even this game up a little bit. So yeah, that's the PvP campaign stuff. And like I said, I think it'd be a cool subject for a video at some point.
Thanks, Matt. Matt the Cutter. He's been part of the community from the beginning. He's awesome. So we also had a question about, this is an interesting question. Any plans to create player boards for Hero? So I'm not familiar with the Zombicide boards. We actually had Zombicide, but we haven't played it yet. So maybe we can check that game out also, Rob.
Yeah.
But we did create in Tabletop Simulator, just to make it easy to like snap your cards in places. We did sort of make little mini player boards just digitally, just to kind of try that out. Yeah. So, interested in feedback if other people think we need player boards. What are something
that's something I've actually been considering for a long time. I was thinking maybe doing like half-width player mats with, one for each character, or boards of some kind that are customized for the various characters. But it's not. It's never been on sort of the top of the priority list. But yeah, we'll check out the Zombicide ones and see if there's any cool ideas.
Yeah, I've seen it in a couple other games too that I also haven't played that I want to play. Let me see. Oh, so there was some questions about Sorcerer. So we're going to move on. We'll move on to Sorcerer. Yeah. For anyone who backed Sorcerer Endbringer, if you haven't seen the update or the email, we did send out the Pledge Manager
out. Yeah.
that would be for all backers. So even if you did Sorcerer now, you should have got a new pledge manager email. Everyone who backed should, and if you were a late backer on our e-commerce store, you should have got a pledge manager. I know we got some feedback on the shipping rates. Like, as we've talked about before, like shipping rates have just gone up tremendously. And that's like, I really wish they didn't, like, whether we're sending something off to friends or sending stuff to backers, like they've just gone up significant. Like every time we go back for quotes, the rates seem to have gone up.
Yeah,
so,
I believe we forced everything into the estimated
that.
range, even if it wasn't, right?
Yeah, so if it was over the estimated range, we still kept it within what we said on the original. So in the original Kickstarter for each tier, we say this is the estimated range for each region, and we really, have a goal to keep within that range. So in some cases, our estimates were higher than that. And we don't count like all the shipping costs. That's just what, we look at like what the fulfillment center would, charge us, just to explain it a little bit more, to send that thing to you. We also, need to like get it from China to that location, or, from Texas or wherever it's being manufactured. We also have to, pay for storage, and there's all kinds of stuff that we still incur, but that's strictly, we look at what is the actual estimate that we're getting from the fulfillment center to ship it out. So, there is additional costs. I know sometimes people think, well, I could go to the post office and I could mail this for, $5. I don't actually know what priority mail is now. It's probably more than $5, but maybe it's like $8 now. But the thing is, like, we're doing a large volume, so they have to like pick all the items and put them in the box. And there's a lot to it. It's not just, oh, go drop one box off at the post office. So we actually did that with our first Kickstarter. I still have nightmares about that.
But basically, if the costs, in a lot of cases, the costs of shipping have gone up so much that they went beyond the estimated range that we had in our campaign, and we just said, all right, we're not going to charge you guys more than that. We will, if it's beyond the estimate price, we'll just absorb the extra. So yeah, basically, when you're backing our Kickstarter campaigns, we always have estimated shipping prices on there. Always good to scroll down and look and make sure, yes, I'm okay with this. Or if you're not, then just wait and pick it up at your local game store. Obviously we've got there's always cool Kickstarter exclusives and stuff. We try and make it, great rewards for if you do decide to back. But yeah, the shipping costs are always listed, and we work very hard to make sure that your costs end up within those ranges.
Yeah. And we had a question about sleeves. I think it's been answered, but just in case other people have the same question or they're not on the Facebook platform, because basically we have people watching on multiple platforms and we see the comments from all the platforms. So that's why I pop the comments up here when we're answering one. So Brad asked about the sleeves for Endbringer. So Rob did do a sleeve count. So
Adam actually did a ton of work with that.
Jointly, they did come up with what the quantity of both sorcerer sleeves and clear sleeves are that are needed for all the new stuff. And I believe, and someone commented this, that it's actually in the sleeve description. So when you're in the pledge manager, if you click on like the 50-pack sleeve or the 300-pack sleeves, in there it tells you
how many you need.
Many you need, depending on what you're looking to sleeve. But if you have any questions, you can also email support or ask us again here. And then someone asked, how are the sleeves? I personally really, really like the sleeves. I don't know if we have any.
They are super high quality.
Yeah, and we always get them from the same factory, so they'll be.
So the sorcerer sleeves are black interior, which basically a lot of sleeves are white interior, but for the sorcerer we did black interior, which goes well with sort of the dark theme. And then
I love the texture of these ones. It's like matte.
Sorcerer card back, matte finish.
Of course, it's gorgeous art because Peter just did an amazing job on these card backs.
Yeah. So yeah, the sleeves are very high quality, and they hold up really well. Like, obviously anytime you're dealing with sleeves, eventually you'll get a sleeve breaking. But we've used these sleeves at conventions a lot and gone through, like, during a con weekend, a game gets a lot of, it gets beaten down pretty hard. And yeah, we'll go through multiple shows without having to change the sleeve on them. But you should always have a few extra sleeves just in case you want to, if you get a sleeve breaking over time or whatever. But like I said, they hold up really, really well. All right, so let's go on
Yeah,
to
spoiler.
the sorcerer.
I've been saving the
stuff.
sleeves to reuse them on your prototype.
Yes.
So I have like a bin of old prototypes that we're going to reuse these sleeves.
All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about overall mechanic stuff for Sorcerer. So right now, all the Sorcerer Endbringer stuff is done on the design team side, and we've been playing on the development side to make sure everything's balanced the way we want, and etc. So we're getting ready to go to print. This is the old version of the Nemesis cards that we had that we showed during the Kickstarter campaign, and we got some feedback on the gameplay from backers. And Peter and I were discussing. Peter had ideas on how to make it better, but a while back when we were working on. Still working on some of the design stuff for it, and we've changed the way the Nemesis works. So in the old version, you had these color icons, and when you flipped over one of their cards, it had a color icon on it, and it triggered one of these 4 actions that the Endbringer could do. And then at the beginning of the battle phase, they had a special effect in each battlefield that they did. And again, to get that, you'd reveal one of the cards from their deck, and it had a text area on it which said a special effect. We've changed that now so that instead, when it's the Nemesis's action, you flip over the card from the deck, and that top section has an action effect for them. So every single action they take will be a unique action based off of the card you're flipping off of their deck, which has so the new boards just have their rules on it, and their ongoing effects, etc. For the effects that they take for the actions, those come directly from the cards, which has given us the ability to have a lot more variety in the actions that the bad guy takes. And now, when you go to the battle phase, you just go straight into battle. You don't have those battlefield effects. The actions that the Nemesis takes will always take place within the battlefields where their oversized avatar is. Their oversized avatar covers 2 battlefields at once. And so when you're flipping over an action, it'll have effects that hit those battlefields. So it's given us a ton of variety. Another really cool thing that we've added to the Sorcerer Endbringer is there are the cards that the aspect cards, which basically those are the things that you're damaging. You deliver damage to them and that's how you defeat the Endbringer. And when you deal enough damage to them, you destroy them and you flip them over, and they basically have an effect that the bad guy does. And initially, we just had a single deck of those, but we've changed those. So now for every one of the different bad guys, we have cards that go with them. For every one of the different horde decks that they can get, we have cards that go with those. And for every one of the scenarios, we have cards that go with those. So now the effects are directly related to the bad guy that you're fighting. And this allows us to have effects that play directly with the style of that particular one. So Khan is kind of a damage machine. So you can see that this one, the retaliation one, this is going to lash out with extra direct damage to you. So when you're fighting against him, you got to be very careful to keep your health high, because even in death, he might be able to lash out and snatch victory away from you. But with the other ones, we have unique mechanics, like the one of them has dimensional gates they're opening up, or the dream world effects, etc. And we can have these these effects link directly to the bad guy you're playing, the mechanics they have. So that's a really phenomenal improvement that we've got there. So very excited about the new mechanics. And been doing, as I said, been doing a ton of gameplay. Really fun stuff. And
I've also played.
Yeah. And yeah, right. Yeah. So we're and they're very challenging. You will get beaten down several times, but it's cool. You're basically trying to figure out how to beat the bad guy. It's really exciting when you can pull off a victory. So yeah, we're continuing on the sorcerer stuff, and we're doing final testing, doing templating edits. We're basically changing language, adding flavor text to some cards, etc. So that's the stage we're at with the Endbringer stuff.
Yeah, and if anyone has any questions, we're kind of getting towards the end of the stream. So now's your final
Last chance.
We're not going to be here next week, but of course you can always send us a message or email support@whitewizardgames.com if you have questions. We'll be back on January 5th. I do have a question for all of you. So we have a big dilemma at our house. We have watched everything on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime, and we need suggestions for the holiday break. So if you have things that you've watched, and we were watching a lot of series. We really like The Mandalorian. We liked Queen's Gambit. We've watched a ton of series, but now we're also digging into the movies and what movies are available. We've kind of hit a couple not so great ones. So, we're looking for suggestions. If anyone has any suggestions for shows or movies that they've watched recently that they recommend, that'd be fantastic. Both adult and also we're always looking for family-friendly stuff as well. We've actually been watching a lot of Halloween shows with my 6-year-old lately, because there seems to be a ton of those, and we've watched some Christmas shows. So yeah, let us know if you have any suggestions. And then I also wanted to mention, I wanted to do a little shout out for Stella from Meeple University. I don't know if you all know her. She and her new husband, they just got married. She live streamed on the day she was getting married. That's how dedicated she is. She's like, this is the time I always live stream. So here I am in my wedding dress, about to get married. They're extremely dedicated. Their channel is called Meeple University, and they do fantastic content. And they played quite a few of our games, and they're friends of ours. They're super nice. But this holiday season, last year she did a really fun video. It was like a compilation of different people in the board game community doing a song. And I was like, oh, I totally want to be in that if you do that again. And so we were in hers. She just posted a new one.
With our wonderful singing voices.
And our dog was in it too. If you want to see Teddy, our little teddy bear, he was also in the video. But it was just fun. So I like to do fun stuff like that. Katie can post a link if anyone's interested in watching that. It was fun. I think Bonacore was the most into it and the most talented. He definitely has some rock star talent going on. But yeah, definitely check out their channel. They're super awesome. They're also on the Dice Tower as well. But their Meeple University channel has tons of awesome content. I keep saying comment, not content. So it looks like we don't have any other questions, so we can wrap up.
Awesome.
So thank you, everyone. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, we're so have a great holiday, everybody. Yeah. We will see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll see you a week from Tuesday.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.